Getting the job done is important, but even more important is safety. In order to work safely, you must have the proper safety gear. Glasses, hard hat, earplugs, gloves, if needed, boots. Working safely will prevent injury and make a more pleasant environment for everyone involved. Helas, or High Efficiency Laser Alignment System, is used to accurately and quickly measure the position and diameter of EMD main bearing bores. This video will guide you through the measuring process and help you accurately measure EMD main bearing bores. First, clean the inside of the engine bores to make sure they are free of oil and residue. On the Helas computer, enter the date, the engine's serial and model number, your name, and the status of the engine. Print it out to advance to the next screen. Insert the Helas gauge head into the appropriate sized master ring gauge. When inserting the gauge head into the master ring, be sure to hold it directly in front of you using both hands. Twist your wrists, slightly rocking the probe back and forth to settle it into place. Failure to do so will result in faulty readings. Calibrate it by pressing the Zero Probes button on the screen. Hit Next on the computer. Once calibrated, insert the Helas gauge head into the front bore number 1. When inserting the gauge head into a bore, be sure to hold it directly in front of you using both hands. Twist your wrists, slightly rocking the probe back and forth to settle it into place. Failure to do so will result in faulty readings. Insert the Helas laser on the opposite side of the crankcase. Use the pegs in the appropriate holes, either for the 645 or the 710 engines. Make sure that both pegs lightly contact the bottom of the bore. Feel free to bump the laser with the palm of your hand to obtain the correct position. Slide the pegs out of the bore to make room for the gauge head for your last reading. Zero the laser with the laser's adjustment knobs. Looking at the graph on the screen, bring the laser as close to the center crosshairs as possible. When both graphs are within one line on the screen, you are close enough to the center of the bore. The Helas package will mathematically correct for any errors in position if you are within these lines. Now it's time to take a reading. We read each bore twice, once in the front and once in the back. When inserting the probe into a bore, be sure to hold it directly in front of you using both hands. Twist your wrists, slightly rocking the probe back and forth to settle it into place. Failure to do so will result in faulty readings. To commence a reading, push the button on the back of the probe. Push the button with your index finger while keeping a grip on the probe handles. This will ensure that the probe isn't jarred by the button push. Remove your hand and wait 3 seconds for the laser to take a reading. There is an audible tone and an indicating light that show a proper reading. Once you hear the beep, you are free to move to the next reading. Move the probe down the line, taking a reading on the back and front of each bore until you've measured them all. When you get to the last bore, do not bump the laser or you will have to start over. Following these steps will ensure accuracy in your measurements and give you the information you need to successfully line bore your engine.